Hi everyone, I'm Julie Brown and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to focus on one thing and one thing only, and that's Christmas, and in particular how to get press coverage in magazines and in newspapers, online, on TV, on a podcast, wherever you want to go at this time of year. So let me get on and tell you what you need to think about. So the first thing I need to mention is lead times. Every single publication works with a lead time, and basically what that means is the time that they plan an issue, the editor, to the issue coming out on the shelves is the lead-in time, effectively. Sometimes that can be months, depending on the magazine. Sometimes it could be weeks if it's a newspaper. But generally, you're looking 3 to 6 months for a monthly magazine. Now, this is important because if you're thinking about wanting some press coverage for Christmas time, then you need to know about Christmas in July. And what I'm talking about there is that most publications are planning their Christmas content in July, and that's why it's called Christmas in July. And if, in particular, you're a product-based business, so you perhaps have gifts such as makeup, skincare, handbags, scarves, toys, whatever it is that you do, and you want to get into a Christmas gift guide, for instance, then the time that you do that is in July. And if the magazines are putting on any events that you can go to sort of talk to them about your products because you want them to feature them in your Christmas guides, then those events will happen in July. So often you go to a roof terrace in London somewhere, the sun's beating down, you've got your sunglasses on, but everywhere you look there's Christmas trees and streamers and balloons because the magazines or publications are pretending it's Christmas effectively, just trying to get people into the vibe, which is quite a laugh. What it does mean, of course, is that it's not a laugh for you right now because you've missed it for this year, which is a bit sad. I know if you're listening to this, hoping to get some press coverage in time for Christmas 2019. But the reason I wanted to cover it now is because if this is something that's key to your business and something that you want to really get to grips with, then start planning it now for next year. And I know that seems ludicrous because we are, over a year away from Christmas 2020, but when Christmas in July happens, the press do expect that you will have your prices set, you'll have your images done, and you'll have your information ready, so all printed out, ready to go, media pack, whatever it is you're developing. And for some people that takes quite a lot of doing. There's people to involve, designers to work with. It might even be that you're doing it on your own and you need a lot of time because you're busy doing other things. So the more you can get organised for July next year, the better it is. Now this is the same for whatever business you're in. As I said, if you're a product-based business and wanted to get into a Christmas gift guide, then Christmas happens in July. If you're a service-based business owner, so perhaps a coach or a personal shopper or something else that's not product related, then it's still the same because magazines will plan all their content for Christmas in July. So if you are a life coach, for instance, and you want to pitch in something to the press around how to get through Christmas Day stress-free, or how to deal with the family arguments when they arise, which we inevitably do, then that needs to be pitched in July as well. So no matter what business you're in, think about Christmas in July. Now, one of the little tricks I want to talk to you about is with regards to Christmas gift guides in particular, because it might seem a bit strange, but Christmas gift guides can be a little bit of a pain for a journalist to put together. They are quite tedious after a while. Once you do it your first time, so hey, Christmas, this is great, I love it. But after you've done one 2 or 3 times, because they happen every year, then it does get a little bit boring. And what tends to happen then is you'll find that the publication will repeat what they did last year, just to make it easier for everybody. And people love Christmas gift guides so much, the punters, that it doesn't really matter if it's something similar to what happened last year. What tends to happen is the designs will make it look a bit different, so it might have more sparkle on it or less sparkle, or Christmas tree instead of a star, but the actual info that gets put in there is pretty much the same. So the amount, what they write, the pictures that I put in there will all roughly be the same as last year. So take a look at what the publication you're aiming for did last year. So when you're sending your information in to the press, you can get it spot on. You can send them what they need in the format they need it in, using the style and the tone that they wrote last year's in. So that's just a little bit of a tip for getting ahead, because some publications such as The Guardian get inundated with people wanting their products and their services in the magazine at Christmas time, and the more you can deliver what they need rather than making the work for it, then the better it will be. You'll stand you in good stead. So that's a really good tip to look at last year's Christmas gift guide. Now, my second tip is to make sure that you send the information for the Christmas issues to whoever it is that needs to get it. Now, that might be really easy to find out. There might be a product editor, for instance, or a commissioning editor, and sending the information to them is what's required. But it can be more tricky than that. Sometimes it's not as obvious, so the best thing to do is get yourself onto social media and have a look on there. And it might be that even if you look in the Christmas gift guide from last year, it will say who put that together. So it's worth trying to track those people down. Look for the magazines on social media, Twitter in particular, and just stalk it for a while in a good way, and just see if you can work out who to send it to. Because again, if you can get it to the right person, that will put you in a really good position, because it's very easy for these things to go astray. If they get to the wrong person to start with, they may not get passed on, or it might just get deleted accidentally. So try as best you can to find the person that you need to contact and send the information directly to them. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is audience. And that's because if you're going to send anything to a newspaper or magazine or anywhere really, it's absolutely key that you know who their audience are. And that has to marry up with the service that you're providing, whether that's a service or products. And this is because if you pitch something into a newspaper or a magazine that doesn't target their audience, you're wasting your time really, because the editor's going to look at your pitch and think, well, that isn't for us anyway, and you've just wasted time putting that together. But also, if you do end up in there and their audience and your audience aren't married up together, then you're not going to get the traffic that you deserve anyway. So, and people get frustrated if they come to your website to have a look at what you're offering and it doesn't suit them because you've chosen the wrong magazine, the wrong audience, then you're not putting yourself in a great position really. So what you want is the audience of the magazine, the readers of the magazine, to be the same as the people you're serving through your business. So for instance, if you are wanting to pitch to the Times on Sunday Style Supplement, you need to have a look at their audience. So I know that their audience are affluent, they like to indulge themselves, they're happy to spend a lot of money, they're primarily women, they love luxury gifts and luxury skincare and luxury makeup, and that is who will be reading that week in, week out. So if you've got a product or a service that matches those, so you are delivering high-end products such as handbags or skincare, or you offer a high-end service such as life coaching for millionaires, or personal shopping in Selfridges, something that's really high-end, then you want to be targeting that publication. Now, if you are much more budget than that, obviously no less good, but budget, so you sell cheaper handbags or a slightly cheaper range of skincare, or you are proper bargain basement, wherever you are, then that's not the place to target. You need to look for a different publication that has an audience that's similar to yours. That way you're marrying the two things together and you're much more likely to be picked up. And this is really important at Christmas time when people are looking actively to buy from you. It's really important to get that bit right. Now, the last tip is when you pitch in with your idea or send your information about Christmas gift guide you want to be in, or the story that you want to tell, then make the headline, the subject header of the email, because it's mostly done by email these days, as strong as you possibly can. Really catch the editor's eyes or whoever's taking in the information from you, because, as I said earlier, they will get a lot of requests to be in these Christmas guides and the Christmas issues. So the more you can make yourself seen in that first few words of the subject header of the email, the better it will be for you. So just think about the words that you're going to use. Don't make it long, but make it catchy and interesting, intriguing, but without being over complicated. It needs to be simple. No puns, no illustrations, no cliches. Just a really strong killer headline, and that will stop that delete button being pressed. You have to remember that journalists, well, editors in particular, can get up to 600 emails a day, and a majority of those end up in the delete bin because it's just impossible to keep up with them. And some editors, will say to you that they end up with thousands of unread emails, and at the end of a month they may just go through them all and just delete anything that they haven't opened because it's just too late and they need to move on. So make it all as enticing as possible so that the journalist can't possibly say no. So hope that was helpful, guys. If you want more help with getting press coverage for your business or any other sort of visibility, then head over to my website, which I will link below, and fill your boots. See you soon, guys.